A new theory about a decades-old cold case has gained a whole lot of attention in recent days, and now it is even sparking an official response tonight from the FBI. Last night, we told you about the Case Breakers. This is a group made up of former law enforcement members, intelligence officers, and also some investigative journalists who named a man they think was the so-called Zodiac Killer. Bill Proctor is part of the Case Breakers, and he is joining us live tonight. Bill, great to see you. We're fascinated in this case, and so we're glad to have you back. I want to start with the FBI's response. They say this case remains open despite what you guys have released, calling your evidence circumstantial. So can you say with 100% confidence that Gary Francis Poste is the Zodiac Killer?
We cannot. We have a pretty good, strong level of confidence that the evidence that we have assembled, that the connectivity we have with Mr. Poste's travels, with where the murders took place, with some of the evidence left at the scene, are very connective to his travels and where he could have been to do some of these murders. No, we're not going to be upset about our friends at the FBI taking this particular position because we have talked to them personally. We have asked them to hold on to evidence so we can examine it. We have asked for interviews. And yes, they have been, well, let's say marginally cooperative. But sure, we'd love to have more conversations. If they are feeling that so far we have not crossed the finish line, okay, we'll accept that for now, but we'd love to have some more cooperation.
You want to work together, right? We all want answers. I'm curious, have you heard from any of the families of the victims in this case about what you have found so far in this quest for answers?
Many of the closest relatives are deceased, but all of these folks over the years have simply wanted answers. We believe we have some answers for them. We'd love to discuss it further, but many of them have decided to kind of stay in the shadows. This is a very public endeavor on our part. And so when they would not like to have their emotions, their concerns, their wishes essentially made public, then we're going to honor that until the end.
Catch people up at home. Gary Francis Poste, you call him GFP. What were some of the clues that led you to believe that he was the killer? And I do want to mention he died in 2018.
He did. And this is a fellow who was in the military. Apparently was pretty good at cryptography and a number of other talents. But apparently early on in his time in 1959, he was involved in a fatal car accident. The driver of the Jeep that they were driving apparently hit some sort of a bridge abutment. He died at the scene. And then GFP had a lot of major surgery, a major scar at the top of his head, which is still present in a number of the sketches and photographs and that kind of thing. So there's connectivity there. There's no doubt that the boots that were size 10, his size, and of military grade and structure on the bottom, at least 4 different of the murder scenes that we know of, those boot prints were left. There were situations where he was a coward and shot people from a distance, and there were other situations where he was brutally up front, stabbing or choking some of his victims. At least 4 of them were couples. That is 4 different couples.
Wow.
And so 8 people.
Just horrific. I know there is one victim, Bill, of the Zodiac Killer that is still not accounted for. Her name is Donna Last. She was 25 years old, a nurse. Tell us what is happening right now in your investigation to help bring her family some closure.
She was a nurse working in the Bay Area and decided to go up to Lake Tahoe to work. Apparently was at a casino and was only doing first aid. Had been there only a couple of months when she disappeared. One of our witnesses has seen a picture of GFP, and he is very convinced that the person he saw having lunch or a cocktail with her before she disappeared is, in fact, GFP. And so now our breaking codes have taken us to a certain wooded area and a very special-looking tree with some of his potential insignia on it. With that, we hope to take some trips around that general vicinity and maybe find a burial ground. So far, we haven't done it, but it's one of the things on our to-do list.
All right, we're going to be following that closely. Bill, I only have about 20 seconds left with you. I know you're following the case of Jimmy Hoffa. What happened to him? Any leads?
I'm in Michigan, where there have been dozens of potential dig sites, et cetera, et cetera. But yes, we believe we have the answer. It is tied to a rogue cop who is deceased, but I think we're on the right track.
All right, we're going to have you back, Bill, when you have more answers in that case. We're all watching it very closely. Bill Proctor with the Case Breakers. Good to see you again. Thank you for your insight.
Thanks for having me.
And if you are interested in what the Case Breakers are up to, you can go visit their website, thebreakers.org.